And I remember in basketball, the most powerful thing that you could say at the end of a basketball game was game over. Because we used to play, and back then there was no nets on the back, on the rims. It was a tin backboard and an iron net, rusty iron rim. And the ball, when it hit that backboard, if it was a bank shot, it would make a slam and sound, boom, boom. Game over, next. Who got next? And that was just how it was. It was cold-blooded. It was a cold-blooded statement. Or if there was no such thing as a switch, even when you put it straight through the basket, hit the back of the room and it'd make that thud sound, boom, game over. And if you were on the wrong side of that sound, it was heartbreaking. If you were on the right side of that sound, you walked up that court waiting for the next team to come on, and you puffed your chest out, and it was a little, there was some bravado with it. And if you were the guy that made that shot, that was it. You was the man. For at least a split second or so, you was the man. But that was game over was the thing that we said. That was the thing that you strive for, was to be the person to say game over. So I thought, what was symbolic for game over? That I was in the symbols. I remember wearing polo in college, and I thought it was just so cool. The dude sitting on the horse about to swing the pole, and it was a silhouette. And what was the silhouette for basketball? What was the silhouette for game over? I started to draw on a piece of paper. I drew the guy with the ball in one hand, and that was, under his, because I tell you, that was the coolest thing. Like, as a point guard, when you're up in a game and the clock is running, you're blowing the team out, and you're just standing with the ball on your hip at half court waiting for the clock to run out, because that's game over. So I had the ball under the guys just standing there proud. And I said, it's got to be a little bit more to it. The biggest thing going on in basketball at that time on the NBA scene, and one of the newsworthy things, was Darryl Dawkins tearing the rim off a backboard. And I thought that's what says game over more than that? You can't play no more when the rim's off the backboard. So then it was the stick figure, the guy with the ball in one hand, the rim in the other, walking off into the sunset, game over, the last word. That was our tagline. Game over, the last word. So I took that stick figure, and I thought about how can I turn that into an actual logo, an actual silhouette. So I had a friend pose, and another guy, a photographer, take that picture. Then that photographer was an artist. He took that logo, or he took that picture and turned it into a silhouette. My brother's also an artist. My brother helped refine it, and him and I together came up with that explosion at the bottom of the feet of the guy, and that explosion represented a shattered backboard. Now you gotta understand, back then there was no Photoshop and stuff like that. I literally typed out the words game over on a piece of paper, cut them out, glued them down, and took a razor blade from the bottom and cut up straight through all of them, separated the pieces, flipped it over, glued them down, flipped it over, put it on a copying machine, a Xerox machine. That shows how long ago it was. Xerox copying machine, copied it, and that's how we got the explosion logo. That's how we got the man. We put them together, game over. Underneath every game over says the last word in script, and that's how the logo was born. And to this day, I get people that say to me, yo, you still got the hottest logo in the game. That's the hottest logo. It's so funny. You're watching NBA games and you see a tattoo. And I'm like, no, I didn't see it. What the? And what it would be is there'd be an NBA player with the Game Over logo tattooed on his arm. Or you see some kid in the park with the Game Over logo tattooed on his arm, on his chest, on his leg, or whatever. And the crazy thing about that is when I used to see other companies have that, I thought it was the craziest thing in the world. I'm like, why would you tattoo somebody's company on your body? But when they tattooed the Game Over logo on themselves, on their body, I never complained about that. I was proud of that. And, props to all of y'all out there. Appreciate the love, because there's a lot of kids walking around. But it was a validation that the logo resonated with a population and a target market that I wanted it to resonate with. The true baller, the kid, the guy from the street. We were born in the streets of New York City.